Hello, everybody. Welcome along. It is predictions time ahead of the fabled Easter weekend. Joining me for the first round, Dana from the Boro Breakdown podcast. Dana, welcome along.
Thanks for having me, Ben. I'm looking forward to this, channeling my inner Mystic Meg.
Mystic Meg. I said to you when you said that you're way too young for that, but we'll take it. I'm a child of the '90s, hence the Noel Edmonds jumper. There we go. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first, or do you want to rotate it and take it in turns?
Should we rotate? I think we'll rotate.
We will rotate. That has been successful for others. Right. So I will start us off with a big game, Millwall versus Luton. And we are now into permutation time, where I am duty bound to say, if Luton do not beat Millwall and Burnley, and this will be our last fixture, beat your lot, Burnley are promoted. So this becomes a very key game in terms of the promotion. Not like Burnley are not going to get promoted at some point, but it is what it is. But could be a big one, especially if Luton can get the win early on in the day on Friday. Does put the pressure on sort of Sheffield United, Middlesbrough in terms of that second place race. Millwall away, tricky. So I think this might be a nice one for Burnley. I think it might end all square. And I will start by going right down the middle and get my first boring 1-1 draw out the way. I'll go Millwall 1, Luton 1. What say you, Dana?
Yeah, a game against two pretty tight defences. Luton have the most clean sheets in the division. Millwall only conceded 1 goal per game, the 5th rank in the league. Luton with a huge incentive actually to overtake my club Middlesbrough in 3rd before we kick off. I think it could be a sticky game. It looks like a good game on paper, but I think it might be a tight one. I'm going to go with 1-0 Luton.
Let's dive in to struggling Rotherham versus West Brom. I think we're in the 3 p.m.s now. Do you want to take this one first, Dana?
Yeah, West Brom rotten away form. Haven't won away since Boxing Day.
Really?
Very weird that is. Yeah, I think I've got that right there. Really poor away form. If I've got that wrong, I apologise. But yeah,
more likely me getting it wrong. Don't worry about that.
I actually looked into this. The most frequent result for Rotherham at home is 1-1. The most frequent result for West Brom away is 1-1. So with that in mind, I'm going to go 1-1.
I love your thinking. I am far less logical than you, and I'll just go with my narrative need for there to be a really good playoff race. And when I looked at all the fixtures, it did look like West Brom and Preston, lowest down, had the easier fixtures. So I'd kind of like both of them to bang out 4-6 points just to make my life more interesting over the weekend. So I'm going to back West Brom. And West Brom going to score 2? They're probably not, are they? It feels like I go 1-0 West Brom every week. So I will go 2-1 to West Brom, and I'm really reaching here. Let's jump on to Blackburn versus Norwich, which is a really key game on the edges of the playoffs. It has the look of, if Blackburn beat Norwich, they could really deal them a big sort of playoff blow there. Blackburn have confused me all season, but Norwich are now equally confusing. The problem is, if ever I back against Norwich, the Norwich fans love it, and then Norwich win. I'm going right down the rabbit hole with this one, aren't I? I will back Blackburn then. Let's go. Let's go for a silly one. 3-2 Blackburn. How about that?
I like that. I like the thinking. Yeah, I think, as you've sort of alluded to there, Norwich are a bit weird, aren't they? A bit flaky. I always feel like they're 90 minutes away from a stall, whereas I previously thought that they would really push on under Wagner. But yeah, Blackburn really good at home. Really good at home. The second best home team in the division for points accumulated at Ewood Park. I'm gonna back Blackburn here. I'm joining you there, Ben. I'm gonna go 2-1 Blackburn.
Definite Norwich win incoming there. The Norwich fans will absolutely love that. Right, Blackpool versus Cardiff, which is really juicy now. So Reading have been deducted the 6 points now. Cardiff have been essentially caught by Neil Warnock, who I'm sure we'll talk about over on Patreon after this. Do sign up to hear more from Dana on Middlesbrough later on. Blackpool versus... Is it my go? No, I think it's your go now, isn't it? Blackpool, Cardiff. There you go. I'll ping that one across to you.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy playing, facing Cardiff again, first time since his dismissal. I don't think this is going to be a particularly great game, high end on quality, to be honest. I mean, having said that, probably 5-4 now, won't it? Yeah, just one defeat for Cardiff in their last 6 meetings with Blackpool. Always feels like there's a lot of twos going on with Cardiff's games. Two poor sides, but I'm going to back Lamouchi's men. I'm going to go 2-0 Cardiff, sticking with the twos.
I think you might have stolen my thunder there. And I'm not going to match up with you. I was quite surprised that Swansea beat Cardiff at Cardiff. And I've been very surprised by what Huddersfield had done. I had Cardiff properly, comfortably safe, but wrong again. So I will agree with you that I fancy Cardiff. I can see Blackpool scoring just on the base. I can see like Cardiff getting ahead and Blackpool really having to chase and ping some long balls in or something. So I will go for both teams to score. I'll go 2-1 Cardiff, which probably we're looking at Blackpool doomed by the end of the weekend if this is the case. Speaking of doomed, oh no, this does work. Speaking of doomed, let's talk about QPR. I was looking at Reading on the next one. QPR versus Preston. I will go first. Dana, literally, last 6 prediction show, I've just backed against QPR and it's pretty much worked. QPR stink to high heaven at the moment. I don't think it's Gareth Ainsworth's fault, but I'm going to back against them again, I'm afraid. Sorry, Rangers fans. And I do like the look of Cannon up top for Preston. He's looked really nice recently. Let's go. I don't like to say it because I like Rangers as a club, but let's go 2-0 Preston. QPR 0, Preston 2.
Yeah, Tom Cannon 3 goals his last 4 games. Looks like he's sort of getting into his stride now. You know what? I am going to somewhat back QPR. I feel like for some reason I just feel it in me that, and I probably shouldn't because surely the rot has got to stop at some point, and I just have a feeling it might come against Preston. Preston not particularly high scorers. I can't shake the feeling that QPR might get something here. I'm not backing them to win. I'm going to go 0-0 just to stop the rot. So, ball draw, but can see it happening. Preston do love a 0-0, to be fair.
Let's play amateur psychologist now with Reading versus Birmingham. Does this... I mean, they knew the points deduction was going to come, and then it was going to happen this week, then it was going to happen the next week, and now it's finally happened, and they're right on the edges of it now. They have been better at home, Reading, haven't they? And Birmingham haven't been great shakes, but is this going to kind of strangle Reading's running? Reading versus Birmingham, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? How will it affect the players? Will it add that a little further bite of fight there, or will they sort of start to down tools a little bit? Birmingham have been in quietly decent form since the start of March. They've only lost once, 3 wins, 1 draw. There's not been a clean sheet in this fixture in the last 7 attempts.
Oh, I like that.
So I'm going to go 2-1 to Birmingham for this one.
I like that clean sheet stat. In which case, I will go scoring draw. I think if it was at Birmingham, I'd back Birmingham here, and maybe they can home surroundings, maybe the psychology there. I know we're into the weeds on, trying to figure out what football players are thinking, but I'll go for a scoring draw, and I won't do a boring 1-1. Let's go for a 2-2. Just for the hell of it. I'm sure Reading and Birmingham fans, neither set of fans will think their side will score twice, but I'll go for both of them to do it. Right at the top, and we'll see how your bias radar is going with this one, Dana. Sheffield United versus Wigan, and I do fancy the Blades here. I know they go to... It's weird because Boro go to Burnley on Good Friday, Sheffield United go to Burnley, and it's almost a case of they'll hope they'll match up each other's result, and the swing happens in the other game. I don't see the swing happening in this game. I know Wigan have been tighter defensively under Sean Maloney, but I can see the Blades just churning out like a win and a clean sheet. So I'm either 1-0 or 2-0. Okay, 2-0 Sheffield United.
Yeah, they've got their mojo back a bit, haven't they, after that Boro-inflicted wobble? I have to put that in there.
That's tremendous.
Wigan really abject away from home. The World Cup hadn't even kicked off the last time that Wigan won on their travels. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Blades victory for this one.
Oof. Moving on. Inform. Are we allowed to say informed Stoke? Every time over the last 3 years I've said informed Stoke, they've quickly not been in form after that. But they do look really good at the minute. And Bristol City on the beach already. Stoke Bristol City.
I can't tell you why, but this one screams 2-2 for me, which is funny because Stoke against Bristol City, they haven't had a draw in any of their last five against each other. So yeah, Stoke in good form. Really impressed by them when they came to the Riverside. Really good drive, energy in midfield. Really good pressing team. Bristol City haven't won an away game in their last five. So I'm going to go with 2-2. I'm sticking with my gut feeling. I just feel like this one screams Desmond.
So, and I didn't have that Bristol City away stat, so thank you for that one. I will now base my prediction on that. I'm gonna back Stoke. I think Bristol City will score. They're kind of open and they've got good attacking threat, haven't they? Let's go 3-1 to Stoke, and we will move on to Swansea versus Coventry. Swansea a bit confusing at the moment. It feels like Russell Martin gets into trouble after a losing streak, and then they kind of win a few games, like against Bristol City or against Cardiff, and then they drop off again. Coventry, I didn't expect them to lose at home to Stoke, let alone 4-0. Coventry were my outsiders for the playoffs as well a few weeks ago. Let's go for a scoring draw. I trust Coventry more than I trust Swansea, but I just think home presence will do something for the Swans. I haven't had a 1-1 for a while, have I? Let's go. 1-1 Swansea Coventry.
Yeah, how's this for a start? Swansea haven't lost to Coventry in their last 7 meetings.
Wow.
5 wins, 2 draws. So they have a decent recent record against them. Coventry perhaps a little bit bruised after that surprise defeat to Stoke, or is it a surprise? I don't know. I suppose the scoreline is. Yeah, 4-0 is absolutely. And Swansea, on the other hand, a bit buoyant after the double against Cardiff. So I'm going to go with the same scoreline from that Cardiff game. I'm going to go 3-2 to Swansea.
I absolutely love that. That's tremendous. Here we go. Watford versus Huddersfield. It's you first, isn't it? Okay, go ahead. Go on.
I'm rubbing my hands together because this is Warnock against Wilder. I am so here for this. So here for this. Wilder obviously was in Warnock's office when he tried to get his stuff back and was locked out of it. So I feel like Warnock is really big on incentives, like external incentives, and
literally stabbing a Chris Wilder voodoo doll all night. Yeah.
The bookies had Huddersfield at 5-1 to beat Boro, and I think he used that as part of his team talk. He was insulted by those odds. Watford, a complete mess, quite rightly booed off by their fans, not happy with the ownership. I'm going to back Huddersfield here. I think they're on a little ascent, and I think they could get a result here. I'm going to go 1-0 to the Terriers.
Damn, that's what I was going to say. I'm all here for the narrative, and Chris Wilder's already gone down the club needs. To be fair, he was asked, does the club need a cultural reset, and said yes, rather than using those words himself. But he still agreed with the line of questioning. Huddersfield are really buoyant. It really does stink of 1-0 to Huddersfield and something happening there. And I don't know with our other predictions whether that would put them outside of the bottom 3. Possibly would with a couple of them if they get the win. Beans, everything says 1-0 Huddersfield, and Beans, you've said it already. I'll go for them to take the lead and draw. It would be fun if they won, wouldn't it? Go on, Huddersfield. No offense to my Watford friends. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs now, are they? Let's go 2-1 to Huddersfield, and we will move on. I think this is a 5 p.m. Sunderland versus Hull, and that would be me first. Hull have gone off the boil a bit. I really like them under Liam Rossini early on. Sunderland had a good draw against Burnley. The Man United lad seems to be playing well, doesn't he? So I think I'll back Sunderland in this one. And Mowbray. Has every manager here managed Middlesbrough that we've been talking about here?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're on to Mowbray now. Because I like Liam, I'll say 2-0 to Sunderland. What say you?
I was thinking the same thing. Two teams in not so good form that were previously in decent form. They've both tailed off. I think injuries have impacted both sides. Just one win for both in their last 5 games. Sunderland haven't won at home in their last 4. Hull haven't won away in their last 6. But I'm going to back Sunderland here. You know what? I'm going to change mine ever so slightly. I'm going to say 2-1 to Sunderland.
Amazing. And as if by magic, this has worked out with you having to go first on Middlesbrough. And what I think we both know you predicted a Luton win, so this wouldn't be for Burnley promotion. On my prediction, this would be for promotion for Burnley if they could get the win. But what say you, Dana? On TV, 8 p.m. Borough versus Burnley.
Oh, I'm caught between my head and my heart here, Ben, because I'm so wanting this to be our really important David Nugent against Hull
Do
game
not
where,
mention that
we
guy to an
get a late
Ipswich
winner.
fan.
I was thinking that in the back of my mind. But yeah, I really want this to be the game where it just gives us that little bit extra confidence to finish the season really, really strongly. However, it is Burnley, and they did massively exploit us playing out from the back in the reverse fixture. Carrick hasn't lost back-to-back games yet as Middlesbrough boss, but this is the biggest test of it. I do fancy us though. The Riverside is a bit of a fortress for us this season. I'm gonna say that we sneak a win here, 2-1 Borough.
Absolutely love it. Look, let's be honest. It should be a brilliant game because neither side are going to. I know Burnley can be kind of quite tight, like in terms of how they control the game, and that can bring the score down sometimes. But the Carrick way seems to be, attack, doesn't it? So I think we're definitely on both teams to score. I think Burnley might take the lead and end up drawing. I think they might be in the Premier League and they're not in the Premier League. So um, let's hope our friends at Sky get a good game. Let's go for a 2-2 draw, which won't help you a lot. I've predicted Sheffield United to win, but they would still have to go and face them. Right, Dana, amazing stuff. You're going to be over on Patreon with me. We're going to be chatting some Borough. So do go and subscribe over on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Please get involved in the comments on the predictions as well. As always, it's a prediction show. We prefer the comments to be before the games rather than after the games. And we'll be back with the next round of predictions on Saturday.